This is the story of how I overcame self-hatred. Viewer discretion is advised. This is going to be a long one, but let's get straight into it. About 4 years ago, including throughout middle school and some of my high school years, I had internalized self-hatred within myself. This was something that took me a very long time to realize. There was a handful of times throughout my life that I wanted to be something that I wasn't. There were times I wanted to be white or a different race because I didn't like who I was. Throughout my life, I was constantly taken out of my diverse communities and schools and placed in a predominantly white one. Little did I know, over time, I became insecure, self-hating, and I despised my skin tone, who I was, my background, my culture, everything. Throughout high school, my self-hatred has gotten so bad that I started to pretend to be someone that I wasn't. I tried to change my hair texture, my name, and say I wasn't black. Lying about my ethnicity, convinced myself that it's true and lied to all of my friends. And self-hatred has even led me to turn on my own people, on my own black women. I was digested and convinced by certain media and information that led me to believe that black was not beautiful, that black women wasn't beautiful. And I applied this same idea to myself and tried to convince myself to be a different ethnicity so that way I can feel better about myself. Lying about it at the time feels good because you get that wave of acceptance, but it's almost like gluttony. It feels good at the time, but once that feeling goes away, you are desperate to get more of it. Deep down underneath the surface, I love being a black man, a black person, a person of color. But that self-hatred that lays on top of that surface is a lot stronger than what it is. Then I dropped even lower within my self-hatred. Started finding new things I didn't like myself, like my nose, my mouth, and even my own body. It doesn't get any worse than this. It couldn't, but it did. I took that same momentum on the internet and fucking shared everything that I wasn't not. Stupid, I know. But here is when the turning point starts to begin. In person and on the internet, I have met and established friendships with brilliant, amazing, and honorific people. Establishing many connections with people of color, with black people. I was riding on this train for a while. It felt good. It was nice. It was smooth. And then BAM! There was a wall. A thick-ass wall built out of titanium. I couldn't go any further. I couldn't dig underneath. I couldn't go over. I couldn't go around. It reached all the way above the sky and all the way to the ends of the earth. Then right when it was too late, had a moment of realization. I looked behind me at a glance of everything that I built off of lies and manipulation. Most of it was so fucking ugly, but some of it was very beautiful. It was the people that I connected with. And that was the moment I realized I never had to lie about who I was at all to get where I was then. All of it was foolish and disheartening. But it was too late for me to do anything about it. It was over. I knew it. Deep down, I knew it was all over. For the longest time, I thought people didn't like me. People didn't love me. People didn't respect me. People didn't look my way because of simply of what I look like. I thought if I created the perfect mask, if I accept all of this disrespect and intolerance, then maybe I'll be happy. But that wasn't it. Everything blew up in front of my face. Everyone knew. I was devastated. I was panicked. At the same time, I was relieved. Here is something that everyone needs to realize, especially if you're battling self-hatred. When you have finally been given the reason to take off your mask, your entire self shuts down. Depression isn't being sad or empty. Depression is your body and your inner self having a very long rest of pretending to be something it wasn't. When you have been putting up that facade for so long, your body is exhausted. Rather quickly, everyone that cared, loved, protected, and adored me, they were devastated. They were heartbroken. They would ask me, is it true? Did you really do that? Why would you lie to us? I didn't have an answer. I didn't know what to say. My mind was completely blank. The only thing I could do was listen. And to be honest, that was probably the best thing I could have done, was just shut the hell up and listen. I've lost so many amazing people that day because I put my self-hatred before anything else. I even had a lover. I met her, gorgeous woman. I only had eyes for her. I only looked at her. I only adored her. Her and I were so different yet so similar at the same time. Of course, like everyone else, she knew about it. I could not fathom the amount of pain and agony and disappointment, betrayal, and the amount of tears that went down her face. This right here was the worst feeling of all time. Despite how much she loved me, she still had the strength to go against me. And that's how you know when somebody really cares about you. Despite how you made them feel, despite what they feel for you, they still have the strength to raise their sword against you. I lost everything and everyone that day, including her. But unfortunately, it didn't end there. Throughout my course of depression, I couldn't gather enough energy to continue on with my life. And yes, it sounds exactly how I say it. I attempted to a handful of times, and a couple times I nearly succeeded. Luckily, I still had a tiny bit of spark in my soul that wanted me to keep going. And despite how painful it was, I did. I kept it moving. This right here is the turning point of my life. When I finally had the strength to stand on my own 2 feet, I sat down at a table and asked myself, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? I sat there in silence for like 10 seconds, which felt like an eternity. And I said to myself, everything. I am willing to sacrifice everything to change. So in the next 4 years, up until now, I decided to destroy, rebuild, design, and recreate myself. First thing I did, I started with education. So I re-educated myself and learned everything it is to know about Black women, Black people, Black history, Black culture, Black everything. Then I took it a step further with my education. Read books on how to decenter whiteness. Learned Stoicism, the arts of language, old money etiquettes. Learned African, Arab, Asian, European, and South American culture and history. While I was mastering English, I wanted to learn 3 other languages: Chinese, Korean, and Arabic. And Arabic happens to be my ancestral language. Despite my progress, I still felt like I was being held back. Then I had a moment of realization. When everything blew up in my face, there were so many scraps left out in the open. My accounts, my name, the clothes that I wear, the people I was connected with, the things that I even hold dear. Everything, every person, every object, it doesn't matter what it was. Anything or anyone that had a connection or an attachment or anything of the sort with knowledge of my self-hatred needed to be eradicated at all costs. Even the pictures and the sentimental gifts that I got from friends, including her, I had to get rid of it. There was no other option. Every last bit, to who I talk to the possessions that I hold, to the clothes on my body. If you want to overcome self-hatred, you have to strip yourself of everything you used to be or who and what you are as a person. Everything that made the false persona of who I was completely eradicated from this earth. If I didn't like something about myself, I'd change it. I said I didn't like my body. I went to the gym. I'm low-key shredded now. I took up calisthenics and became quite athletic at it. Now I'm trying to master it, including my flexibility and the willing of my body. I took it a step further. I didn't want to be weak, so I learned Kung Fu, Taekwondo, Judo, and boxing. I reconnected with poetry, was something that I used to do a long time ago. During my evolution of poetry, I found ink and quill. During my recreation, I established new character traits: old money etiquettes, honesty, loyalty, honor, dignity, self-respect, modesty, preservation, and stoicism. Then I started learning more history and reading more books about Black women, African women, and the beauty of being Black. Even bought a few books of African goddesses and the meanings that they held. This is when I finally started developing love for myself, a Black man, and for Black women. Over time, as I was battling self-hatred, day by day, I slowly began to find so much love and attraction towards darker skin tones. From tan skin all the way down to dark skin. To this day, I find tan all the way to dark skin tones to be the most beautiful skin complexions ever. I have finally re-established and redeveloped my love for Black women. For any other women with tan and brown and caramel and dark skin and darker skin tones. My love for it has increased so much that I don't really find light or white skin tone attractive all that much anymore. I stripped myself of all the clothings that I wear, and I had to start off from scratch. I had to create something that was meant for me, that I was meant to belong to. Then I found class. I found old money. I found elegance. It wasn't just a style, it was a meaning. There was history behind it. So I took up old money, the style, and everything it is to know about it, including old money manners, which is a bit of a flex to be honest. Then I started an online business, which is doing quite well. Poured a lot of time, energy, years, and money into this. I'm self-employed. I dazzle down in crypto and stocks and even real estate as part-time. I graduated from college offline and I have a cybersecurity certificate. And yet, I still haven't gotten the new car. I guess I'm just waiting for it to break down. The reason why I'm sharing this story is because I want to show others, including to myself, that it's actually very possible to overcome self-hatred. But it's not going to take overnight. It's going to take a long time. So I decided to make a new account battling self-hatred and hopefully use what I have learned to help others who are struggling with self-hatred, especially among POC. This was a very hard road to overcome. It was painful. It was exhausting. It was suffocating. But at the end of the day, when I look back, I never felt so accomplished and proud of myself for overcoming all of those traumas and obstacles. That being said, I need to get home. My dog is waiting for me. So I'll see y'all in the next.